So I'm going to get the ball rolling by sharing my letter to my 25-year-old self. I was a student in Buffalo, New York, married with a baby, and trying to get through a PhD in biochemistry. So this gives you a little bit of background. Dear Mary, I know you don't like it here. The weather is abominable. It snows all the time. And although you're living in a nicer neighborhood now, I know it's hard. Joe has gone to look for work in Canada and is able to come back to visit on some weekends, and you try not to complain, but boy, there's so much to complain about. Abeku is just 2 years old, and you have to drive him to daycare every day before you go to the lab to do your research. Now that your department has moved to the new his daycare is in the opposite direction to your lab, and it feels like you're crisscrossing town at peak hours, and it is stressful. Because you're run out of gas. Next time you should listen to Joe when he's trying to tell you how to fill up the tank. It's not the end of the world though. I know you've thought of moving Abeku closer, but you can't afford the daycare rates that are near the university. You're just a graduate student. You're wondering if you'll ever be in a position not to worry about how much things cost. Last week, someone got rid of your samples in the liquid nitrogen tank in the lab. All those blood samples you've extracted from the mice you've been testing with the new drug are lost. I saw you coming in, putting on your lab coat, no one acknowledging your presence even when you greeted, like the good Ghanaian you are, and then went to the storeroom to retrieve your samples. You lifted the lid, pulled out the sample holder, and all your samples were gone. You almost fell to the ground, and I wanted to hold you. You fell against the wall and started sobbing. Did you really need that PhD, you said to yourself? And I felt for you. No one would believe what a jungle it is in the research world and how one can be sabotaged. Take heart. The struggle for supremacy in every sphere of endeavor seems to be a human thing. And many don't care who they trample on. I know you have suspicions about who did it, but don't give an eye for an eye. Rise, Queen, rise. One day, hard as it is for you to believe now, given the racial tensions in America, we're gonna have a black president. And his first lady is gonna say to us all, when they go low, you go high. Redo the experiment, baby girl. It's not the end of the world. It's not helping that your professor looks like he's on his dying legs. You've berated yourself several times for choosing to join his lab when he was already well into his 70s. But his research was the only one that interested you. You've always wanted to do what you want to do, and that will never change. Embrace that you, but know it comes with consequences. Every day he's late to work, I see you. You're worried he has dropped down dead. Guess what? He'll live beyond the defense of your thesis, and even 10 years after. That man drinks herbs and eats as his Chinese ancestors did, and you're feeling sorry for him? You eat McDonald's burgers every day. I beg, cry for yourself. Although you have been welcomed by many and made some friends, you miss your friends back in Ghana. There's something about friends who've known you since way back when. One day, God will take you back to Ghana, and you will reconnect with many of them and rekindle the friendships of the past. Right now is the time to stretch your wings and meet new people. 25 years from now, you will still be friends with many of them. You will come back to Buffalo from time to time and marvel at this place you currently want to leave. You will not likely want to live there again, but you'll be grateful that it was part of your story, the story of you. Well done for making it thus far. Don't forget to thank all those who supported you, especially Joe, Dad, Mom, the siblings. You will graduate in the 5 years allotted, not a day more. You will walk up that stage, get robed, and walk off the stage to applause. As to what you will do with a PhD, it doesn't matter much, you know. It will always be a reminder to you that you are capable, able to make choices, embrace challenges, fall, get up, dust yourself, and continue moving. Girl, you are a queen. and I love you, from 55-year-old Mary. Thank you. As to how I went from a PhD research scientist to a teacher of little children, another story.